I'm going to bring up section 8. That might be, I don't know if that's a good issue or a bad issue, but I am going to present soon to the board a way for the village to start to wean those that are on section 8 off section 8. There are ways out there that if we all agree, a majority of us anyway, these certificates can start to leave the village of Highland Falls. And so I will present that to the village real soon. Joe?
Yeah, I covered one of my notes here, the mayor's report on 911. We'll wait for Ken and Jim's report next meeting, hopefully. I put a note in here, additional public safety hazards. And I put that to you, Jim, just to look at some of those things that are problems with sidewalks and whatever that they have in the village. So, do you have any report on the FEMA funding yet?
No, I hope to have something this Thursday. I'm meeting with Todd, but the FEMA, I can say this with our highway guy in the room, our sewer guy in the room. We don't have our water superintendent, but we're doing very well with FEMA, correct? Very, very, very well with FEMA, which I'm very happy about.
We haven't had a report from Todd yet on the water tank restoration schedule.
No.
You mentioned the sewer repair on Lights Avenue, but when I was there, it looked like it was the contractor that put the rocks on top of the sewer line and caused the problem. And what's our recourse there? I mean, we've had 2 of these that I know already this year. We have to have some, I guess we have no recourse except to have our own inspectors on the job when we do something like this again.
That would probably be the best thing.
The one on Pleasance Avenue and Church Street was patched with a piece of hard paper in a bag of sack. We didn't do it, that's what we found.
As I said to you that day up on Clyde's, the next time we do a large job where we need to have an inspector, I think the board should talk about hiring their own inspector. See what that cost is compared to the engineer's inspector, and remember some issues that we had and act accordingly.
All right, the other one was 7, put in here, budget request, need for additional repairs to infrastructure village-wide. Basically, that was, as we discussed with the Gorman people a week or 2 ago, reference seal coating or sealing the cracks in the streets that we have on the north end. To seal them first, and then we look at some of these other processes that we can get involved with next year, hopefully.
Joe, I think that we're going to be able to move ahead June 1 with the money that we have for sealing, because we know the north end needs that. And hopefully by then, Jim and Pat, and with Tony's, get you in his help, we can have what we're going to do with the rest of the streets.
All right. No, I'm not going to be here for the 12th, I just want to make sure that somebody covers it right now. Okay. The other thing is that when we're marking out water lines, sewer lines, can we mark out the laterals too? So,
Sewer line? No, we have no way of marking.
no way of marking the sewer line, okay. All right. And the next one is a rather large issue, it's going to take some time to get it worked through, but if we could start with the town and the village sitting down and discussing consolidation of some of our departments, just to see where we can go with that, if it makes sense, similar to taking over the water operation, as I mentioned before, and taking over the sewer operation in the town, providing our people to operate the sewer facility to maintain that. I think it's just something to talk about. I know there was a piece of paper about planning, and that's a $12,000 number, not a big one, but it's something we can consider too. But I just think there's things that we should be sitting down and forming little committees to discuss how we might work closer together.
But Joe, after the water agreement pertaining to the piping is signed by you and I, I'm speaking all of it, but the lawyers are. And after the agreement that's being worked on with the guaranteeing of water, I don't know what that document will look like, as much as I do the piping one. I think, as I brought up to Mr. Livesey, myself, that we would be interested in talking to you about taking over the operation of your water and your sewer. If it was cost, effective for us, I guess basically we could do it less expensive than you are spending now. Otherwise, why would we do it? But that's, of course, there's time involved. And I know Tony Scitrini is thinking about that. So, but that's, I'd like to get those two agreements worked out, and then we talk about that.
First time, first, right?
Yeah. Okay.
That's all I have, thank you.
Hi, Joe. Patrick Kelly, Highland Falls. I'm listening to the comments about the drug dealing and those things. We're talking about cracks in the street, not cracks on the street.
I agree with you.
So, I'm just wondering why we're not having a discussion with the police enforcement. Has it been addressed at the town meeting? Is there a plan to deal with this very important issue? This is a very important issue about the quality and the health of our community as a whole. And the repercussions of not addressing that are that
Gets worse.
it gets worse, and our economy gets worse, and we pay more taxes, and we have less tax revenue, and we have more houses for sale, and the schools need more special ed classes because the kids are on drugs, and special ed just went up $1 million. I'm probably at 15 grand a year taxes. I can't even $10,000 to cut the grass, for crying out loud. Why? We used to have a village crew that did all that. They're power lawnmowers. They're not pushing little, old rotisserie things anymore. What? We have to me, excuse me, Joe, let me just finish. And this thing with the motels. The people in the motels, if there was a problem, why didn't somebody go to the motel and say, before this all came to a boiling head, look, fellas, we have a problem with the motel. We have a problem with your tenants. We have a problem. Let's talk about it before we have. Okay.
You're coming tonight. Listen, you're coming tonight. There's a lot. And as far as drugs.
Well, I understand, but listen, there's a bodega across from the police station that I contacted Bill up in New Windsor, our senator, whatever, Larkin, and Nancy Calhoun, and ever letters. I got beautiful letters back on beautiful stationery, but nothing really happened until they went. Why can't we get to the whoever owns these buildings? Have a word with these people. Maybe you should get rid of your tenant. I see the cars pulling up on Main Street. Who doesn't? I have children here. I came from New York City 15 years ago to raise a family. If we can't get this town together, this beautiful little town of Highland Falls, Fort Montgomery, if we can't get it right here, then we can't get it right anywhere. I mean, this is the place to do it. And again, the taxes. I mean, nickel and dime, everything's up, everything's more expensive, the heat, the gas, I mean, it's, somewhere it's gotta stop. School taxes are getting banged right out of the box, I know your brother's here, and in terms of the services, we're really not getting a heck of a lot. So, we really, like I said, the health of the community is contingent on.
Please try to come to our next budget workshop. You have to come.
Well, again though, but why have you had one of the police officers up here say to the community, this is what we're going to do, folks. This is what I suggest you do. Here we have a problem. We're not talking about it. We're talking about guys with their pants down around their ankles. That's not,
Okay.
We need to talk about really issues that are very important. So what are we going to do? What's the plan? What are we, you know about it, you know
Can I
there's
just say
drugs
one
here.
thing?
No,
Just
no,
because
wait,
it's next to my
no,
property.
no,
I just want to tell you a couple things.
No, there's not, this is
The
not.
DEA had
This is
it.
not,
Just in the last couple, I want to say year, okay, we've installed 3 municipal cameras that are stationed throughout portions of the village.
And results,
Yes, we have lots of tickets written. I would suggest,
arrests or tickets written?
well, some things were like spitting on sidewalks, littering, that was.
Talking about drugs.
Let me finish, don't let me finish.
Sorry.
We hired a detective, we had an arrest, I believe it was around 10 days ago. It was a drug
did you know
arrest.
that?
That was in the paper.
Did you know that?
No.
There was a paper, so
Okay.
Kenny Scott does have a plan, they're working on it with the detective and the sergeant, and they are working together with a plan. And at the same time, we're trying to make sure we keep taxes from getting run away, and we're also trying to work on making arrests.
Because you guys are Republican small government people, right?
That's right.
Okay.
So we're trying to keep taxes low and try to take care of the issue. I'm not saying there's not work to be done still, but we are trying to make some improvements.
I hope so.
Nothing's been done. What do I do? And they said, well, unfortunately, a public citizen can't call in help. The mayor would have to do that, or perhaps the police commissioner would have to do that. And I'd like to know why that hasn't been done.
It has been done,
Well, then you need to do it more often.
every day, okay? And you know what, when you say, no, the police don't do anything, I was bringing a folder with me, and I stopped. Because I wish I had it tonight, because it has every time you have called, and every time what the police have done, it's a computer printout. It's unbelievable. So please, if you're frustrated that something is not going your way, that's one thing. But let's not say that the police don't respond. Let's don't say they don't react. Let's don't say that.
Well, let's say there's
Please.
no results.
Okay, now, I'm gonna take one more because we're past public comment.
I just want to say, I walk in town, and I've had people tell me, they've actually seen the drug dealers right down in town, the nickel bags, right in front of them, on the middle of the day. I know one lady, I know you don't want to hear it, you don't want to hear it, but I've seen one lady say, she walks and she says she picks up the nickel bags and she puts them in front of the police stations.
That's why,
Yeah, that's fine, because you know, but really something does need to be done with the drunk. We need to take back our village.
Well, if you see something, call the police.
Yeah, but they're not always in town, Jimmy.
The police?
No. They might be at Nepal, it's down that way. They're not always in
But
town.
if you see
And then-
something and you think it's
Yeah,
going
are you
down.
gonna deal with it then? What are they gonna do? We're gonna
Jimmy,
have to
you
take
don't leave the village when you're on duty.
No,
Do you leave the village when you're on duty?
no.
Where's the other guy? Do you leave the village? I know you're new. I know that you're new. But I'm just asking you a question. Do you know the village limits from Fairgate to Nichols?
Mileage-wise, you mean?
No, you know that that's the village.
Oh, yes,
Do
yes.
you leave the village? No.
Okay, so they're in the village.
No, I can't. No, I can't. Because we're past public comments.
Okay.
Thank you. I'll take a motion to adjourn.
Well,
Good.
my,
Oh, okay, good.
I have comments.
We got that.
Yep. One, I want to thank everyone that came out. We had a record number of voters this past election. I want to thank everybody that came out. We had a decent amount of people that couldn't vote because they didn't realize they had a Highland Falls address. They weren't in the village. And they came out, and I want to thank them too. Which leads to my next comment, that I want to give a little more weight to what Mr. McCormick said about consolidation. We've waited way too long. Should have been done 30 years ago. And discussions, in my opinion, need to be stepped up in all avenues. I don't think it's as difficult as some people are making it out to be. I've talked to several people about it that have been involved in consolidation, and I believe that one community is the only way we're going to survive. And it's not two communities anymore. We've got to stick together, we've got to work together. And I want to thank Doreen, and I want to thank Mr. Kelly, because those are the things that need to be said. Because I'll tell you what, growing up, it was a beautiful, beautiful place. Okay? We have to first recognize it's not.
This is a gem in the Hudson Valley. So it's a little tarnished, this is my opinion, my personal opinion. Okay? There's work to be done, a lot of work. And though, on my thing, I said lower taxes, now that I get in, I'm looking, it's looking scary. Okay? So personally, there's a lot of projects that need to be done. There's a lot of things that need to be done. But my main concern for this first year is open government. And getting to you guys exactly what's going on, and not just getting exactly what's going on, but getting more input. I'm going to make my email and a phone number available, because I think that things that happen tonight are not settled. But things that happen on Wednesday, it's going to go and no one's going to think about it. I think that these instances of, and I've talked to the same person picking up the bags, these are things that have to be dealt with, and we can't sit around and let them lie. And do I think the police are doing the job? I know the police are doing a great job. We are. We're all gonna have to come together, and we're gonna have to work with them. Because similar to how Father Jack got serious uproar with the pan situation, that's only because the community took it and ran with it. And we're gonna have to do the same thing, because it is an issue. And we can we can do a lot to improve this village, but it's gonna have to be together. This is available on YouTube. Highland Falls Village Board, if you Google that on YouTube. So these meetings are available right now. I am not in favor, and I'm just going to put that up right now, not in favor of going to the high school, only because it's not a live feed. And I feel that a live feed is much better. I do want to thank Supervisor Livesey. Serious, talk about open government and cooperation. Whatever you guys need, we'll do whatever we can. That's exactly what we need when we're all working together. And he is willing to help us in any way possible. I also want to thank the department heads, because even before, I'm only official today. Today was my first day. So, the department heads approached me and were like, come on down, you got to see this. I'm like, I don't know if I should before I'm legal. So now I will be visiting you guys and seeing all the different operations. I want to thank you for, again, coming to me and saying, come down and check it out. Lastly, on the filming, I do see additional costs at the high school, because it's not just the filming, it's the actual showing of it. Now you have to take the disc and show it either on 20 or 23, and that's going to require a person. Sooner or later, that's going to end up into a stipend of a couple grand to have someone do it. And you can say, we'll let this person do it. They don't want to do that because that's not part of their job. Okay? I see more, and also it's a time factor. Live feed, it's timely. It's today. If we film it and we let it go, and it's a week later before we're able to get someone to get it in there, two things might be already passed. So I just want to put that out now. I have looked at several different options, and I'll be bringing that to the board as well. And again, thank you everyone for showing up tonight. Huge meeting, very frightening.
Okay, motion to adjourn. Motion by Jim, and by Harold, all in favor? Anyone opposed?